us on the field quicker because we don't have to have that money get right in hand. It would add up for the whole year what it would be that goes toward our total. And for missionaries to get overseas, it's pretty expensive, but it's not our salary. Mine specifically is about $163,000, just a little shy. But that pays for my plane ticket, that pays for my housing, that pays for my food, that pays for every single dime of there. It pays for the ministry things that we do in France. And it's a lot to take to get there. My visa, my schooling, I'll be in the University of Nantes learning French. But guys, the last thing I want to share with you is a lot of times we don't think, like I said from the beginning, sometimes we don't think about ministry other than missionaries and pastors, but raise your hand if you speak English, even if you have an accent, because I've got one too. And I tell people all the time, I've been in Ohio and Florida in times, I say, if you ever meet a French person with a southern accent, ask them if they know Bryson Foulks. I said, maybe I got to meet him. But so if you speak English, God could use you overseas. God can use you here in the States and in areas where there's people that have come, whether it be refugees or whether it be a couple that have immigrated over. God can use you that way. It's a way that they have a need, and you can lovingly help them meet that need. And it builds a relationship with them so you can share the gospel with them. Because there's a rest of the world that's not quite as friendly as us. New York is not as friendly as us. I had a teacher when I was in college. He was from New York, New Jersey. He said, it took me forever when I first moved here. When people would say, hey, how are you doing, when we were walking, and they just keep going. He said, I'd stop and just look to see. He said, we don't do that in New York. He said, so I was expecting them to have a conversation with me. He said, they were just being nice and saying, hey, how you doing? And so most of the world is not like us. And so they're pretty closed and pretty private people, so you have to build relationships with them to be able to have these tough conversations. But thank you guys so much. Thank you for letting me be with you guys.
The young man has given us testimony. He has a desire to go to France. The Lord's not called me to France. I want to think He's called me to Appalachia areas. That's who I am. That's what I am. That's part of what that's just Tim. But I can help him go to France. I can help him pray. The Lord open up doors. The Lord provide for him. Lord keep him safe. The Lord back here just give his family strength. Give his family the understanding that he's going to be okay. Emily, pretty soon going to college, and her minor is going to be in missions. I sure wish they'd call her back to Appalachia. That's where she don't want to be here, but I want her to be here. But that family needs to have that understanding that it's going to be okay. They're in God's hands. They're in God's hands. Let's all stand. Maybe this testimony is spoken to your heart as our musicians come. Maybe this testimony is spoken to your heart. Maybe this message they've preached about plans. We've all had plans. We've all had plans to do certain things or be part of certain things, and then the Lord just move and change our minds. It's not about what we are, but it's about what He wants for us. And I believe it was reminded me by Sister Carolyn this morning, we all have a purpose, don't we, Sister Carolyn? We all have a plan, and God has that plan for us. I'm thankful that Brother Bryson has found that plan, and he's holding close to God's hand. Maybe you this morning, maybe the Lord's dealing with you about something. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. It doesn't matter what occupation you have or what you don't have or what you do have. Where God provides or God guides, I promise you He'll provide. And at this time, if you just say, Lord, I want to just come to the altar and I just want to pray for Bryson and his family, or, I want to search some things out of my life, whatever it is. Lord, I want you to show me because I want your plan for my life. I want what you want, not what I want, but what you want. Show me what that is. As Brother Chase leads us in a song, let's come if we need to come.